Alright. Hello, everybody. It is Yami Fujita, and despite still being sick, we are back to continue and conclude the second class trial of Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. I literally dreamed about the conclusion of this class trial. Look, again, it's not that I'm looking forward to the characters getting killed off in this game, but I'm telling you, this franchise has seriously turned into one of my favorite, and this game so far has been even more riveting than the first game. Everything about this entire case is incredibly just incredibly bizarre. How the entire situation is playing out. First of all, the motive that was given to everybody was a video game, and the video game stated prior to showing the menu that it is a non-fiction game, and everything about the game, the characters and events, are intentionally placed in the game. So it was determined that the characters in the game obviously represent the characters in Danganronpa 2, or some of them. So there were several characters a part of the Twilight Syndrome murder case, or whatever it's called, murder mystery case. There were several characters involved in that. Several of those characters are based on real characters of Danganronpa 2. So it's been determined that the characters who were involved in that murder case are Mikan, who was girl A, Hyoko, who was girl B, Ibuki, who was girl C, Mahiru, who was girl D, and then a girl named Sato, who was girl E. It was determined that Sato is Fuyuhiko's little sister. Or no, she's not, sorry. Sato is the one that killed Fuyuhiko's little sister. Fuyuhiko's little sister was not given a name in this game because the character was already dead. So they didn't even bother naming her. But it was determined that girl E, who is somebody named Sato, who we have not met, is the one who killed her. And it was determined that guy F, who we determined is Fuyuhiko, that killed girl E out of revenge. But again, Mahiru is not girl E, she's girl D. So that's where this becomes a mind screw, because Mahiru died in the exact same fashion that she died in the same exact fashion that girl E died in, being struck in the head with a bat and being slumped up against the wall. So far throughout this class trial, and while we were investigating, first of all, I told myself, at first I said that Chiaki was the number one suspect, but then I told myself to stop making predictions so early. Chiaki is definitely not the killer. I definitely highly doubt that she's the killer. I also said that I would be surprised if the killer was not a female. But then we hear about guy F killing girl E, which makes me think that potentially they also killed girl D. If that's the case, then that would mean Fuyuhiko is the killer. My primary suspect throughout the investigation switched to Hyoko because of the gummy that was found in the closet and the gummies that were found in her dorm, in her hotel suite. The drinks that were in the refrigerator being all sweet drinks. You know how her diet is. And the fact that the footprints leading away from the beach house were hers led me to believe that she was the culprit. However, now throughout, and also there was a note written for Mahiru that was signed with Hyoko's name. But then throughout the first half of the class trial, it has been determined that the killer is trying to trick everybody. The killer attempted to frame Hyoko. But Fuyuhiko is still, to this moment, trying to refute that. Fuyuhiko believes wholeheartedly that Hyoko is the killer. So, we gotta see if he's actually telling the truth, or if he himself is the killer. Because Fuyuhiko is now my number one option. Simply because I really do believe that the killer was a guy again, based on what Guy F said and did. There's a possibility that Fuyuhiko may have killed both Girl E, which is Sato, and Mahiru. There's a chance. Like I said, a chance. This is just a prediction. I don't know this for a fact. The actual killer could still be trying to trick everybody. I've had dreams where the people who I'm saying I really hope are not the killer ended up being the killer. That wasn't my dream. I think it's fair to say that anybody who was involved in that game should be a primary suspect. But I do not think Ibuki is the killer, and I do not want to believe that Mikan is the killer. I already said that I believe that Mikan is either going to survive or get killed. I do not think that she's going to be the one to commit a murder. But if she does, then we're gonna see her personality completely flip, like I was visualizing it. If Mikan is the killer, then we're gonna see her personality completely flip. It's gonna be a Celeste moment. Now, Celeste was mostly spoke in a calm tone. The only time she broke character was whenever Hifumi did something to annoy her, and then when she eventually got caught as the killer in the first game. But I am still gonna need to be blowing my nose throughout this, which I need to do right now before we continue with this. So I'll be right back, but I cannot wait. I started nice and early so that we have plenty of time to get through this. So without further ado, I'll blow my nose and then we'll get started. Alright, and yes, just a reminder, I'm sorry, but I changed the difficulty for the class trial. The logic difficulty is still on gentle, which is the normal difficulty. Or no, I'm sorry, it's on kind, which is the normal difficulty. But the actions difficulty was set to gentle, which is the easiest difficulty. Because like, the class trials in this game are significantly harder than the first game. So, I'm really not trying to struggle too much. Alright, so here we go. I'm Monami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now. To think that the person... Oh, wait. Well, you better believe it, because unfortunately, it's most likely the case. Yes, it's the least you can do. To make sure my... Okay, yeah, that's still working. My headphone volume is way too low. Alright, back to the trial.
ひよこちゃんの言うことを信じるとして、で、そこからどうなるんですか?
I'm sorry, actually, something else. I just realized in yesterday's stream I mentioned it, that I was supposed to be setting skills in another menu. Like, I was supposed to be buying and setting the skills. I don't remember which menu that is now, but it's not in here. It was in the Clash Trials opening menu. When in the set skills section, there was another menu where I was supposed to be buying and setting the skills. I did not know that, so now we're going through another class trial with no skills being set. I'll make sure to set them in the third class trial and onward. Now, also, there was another thing that I needed to say. If I can remember it, I'll try to remember it. Well, now that we decided to believe Hyoko, now what? Well, not all of us have decided to believe her. Fuyuhiko, like I said. Fuyuhiko refuses to believe her.
例の手紙のことか?
じゃなくて、グミの方かな。
は? お菓子が手がかりになるのか?
No, the candy ended up being what caused everybody to think Hyoko was the one who did it.
もうそこにグミってあったの? そういえばなかった気がする。
So the gummy was not on the floor in the closet when Hyoko was first put in there.
やっぱりね。
やっぱりって?
だって西園寺さんがいる間に捏造の証拠を置いても、
Yeah, that
彼女
makes
に見
sense.
つかったら捨てられちゃうもん。
つまりクローゼットにグミが置かれたのは西園寺がビーチハウスから逃げ出した後ということか。
Which means the killer fled after Hyoko fled. But how does that make sense?
現場に戻ってきたの？私が出てった後で？
そんな面倒なことをせずともビーチハウスのどこかに隠れていればいい話だ。
Which I'm assuming you mean the shower room.
だよ。あそこには隠れる場所なんてないもん。シャワールームだって逃げるときにちょっと覗いたけど、でも誰もいなかったもん。
じゃあやっぱ戻ってきたってことか？
どっちだろうね。
I really gotta pay attention to what everybody's saying here.
その問題の答えが事件の真相につながってる気がするよ。
I gotta wipe my glasses down. Alright, wanna play a new game? Is that what you're thinking? If so, we're prepared the perfect product for you. We've prepared the perfect product for you. You'll dive into your own brain and logically discern the mystery's answer from several questions. Okay, call it the Logic Dive. But during the Logic Dive, you will control a version of yourself created from an image within your brain. Your task is to reach the goal, the final destination of the Synapse course. You can move sideways with the left stick and accelerate with the R1 button. Press the circle button to brake and the L1 button to jump. There will be various obstacles you will encounter as you progress through the course, so make sure you're familiar with these controls so you can reach the goal. On your journey, you will take damage every time you fall into a gap or bump into walls. Also, upon reaching a certain point, there will be branching questions in the course. The answers split into different paths, so please proceed down the path of the answer you think is correct. Alright? It just seems simple enough. Branching questions will appear several times in one course. Please be careful. Highly recommend that you make good use of the brake. That's my meddlesome advice to you. You press the options button during your logic as you can read the controls. Circle, I believe they said it was the brake. She's right, this might be a very important problem. If the killer tampered with the evidence after Hyoko ran away from the beach house, when did the killer arrive and depart from the beach house? Think. If I just focus and think about it, I'm sure I'll be able to find the answer. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Alright, here we go. Oh, what is this, Sonic Riders now? Okay. R1 to accelerate. Circle to brake right, yes, okay. They said every time I fall into a gap, it's gonna lose health. So I gotta be careful here. Oh, look out, look out, look out, look out. Alright, question 1. After Hyoko arrived, before Hyoko arrived, when did the killer arrive at the beach house? Oh, okay, it fell. Okay, crap. But when did the killer arrive at the beach house? Did they arrive after Hyoko arrived or before Hyoko arrived? They had to have arrived before Hyoko arrived. Okay. It seems like that was the correct answer. And that had to be the right answer. Alright, come on now. This is not that difficult. Okay, when did the killer leave the beach house? Before Hyoko left or after Hyoko left? They left after Hyoko left. They had to have left after Hyoko left. Hyoko left first. Okay, alright. Oh, okay, whoops. That was an obstacle. Oh, look out, look out, look out. Well, where was the killer hiding while Hyoko was unconscious? In the beach house. Okay. Well, when did the killer arrive at the beach house? Okay. And those all seem like they were the correct answers.
やっぱり犯人は隠れてたんじゃないか。
がっかりだな。長々と考え込んだ挙句にそんなトンチンカンな発言とはね。隠れる場所なんてなかったって言ったよね。何語で説明すれば分かってくれるのかな。
No, well, he's telling you that there is a way they could have
夜
hid.
が晴れた途端にすっかり強気になりましたな。
いや、隠れる場所ならあったはずだぞ。西園寺、お前がちゃんと見てない場所だ。
どこのこと言ってんの。しつこいと終わりのデコピンで永久に黙らせるよ。
Why did she randomly say Akane's name? That might be important. We'll see. I really don't want that to happen to me. I need to answer by any means. The place where the killer was hiding. The place where Hyoko hasn't looked. She said she looked in the shower room. She said they already said that she looked in the shower room. So where else could they have hid?
ここだ。
Yeah, in the closet.
おそらく犯人はクローゼットに隠れてたんだ。
クローゼットって私が閉じ込められてた場所じゃん。
お前はそこで目を覚ました後、慌てて飛び出したって言ったよな。だったらクローゼットの中はちゃんと見てないはずだ。
だがあんなに狭い場所に2人も隠れられるのか。しかも西園寺に気づかれず
Yes,
にだぞ。
and you know where they hid? I know exactly where they hid. Remember during the investigation, we saw that there was an open surfboard case. Apparently there was a case where if you could put surfboards in, one of the cases was opened. Which means that is most likely where the killer was hiding.
だからこそ犯人はそこに作ったんだよ。そう。
Nope, sorry. Yup, look at that. If the killer made sure to arrange a hiding place in advance, I can only think of one place. That's right. The place where the killer was hiding was, well, inside the closet was... It had to be inside the surfboard case. Yes.
あそこにだったら隠れられたんじゃないか？ほら、棚に積まれてたサーフボードケースの中だよ。
え、サーフボードケースの中？あの棚ってさ、すごいごちゃごちゃしてたよね。
Hang on. I really don't know how to prevent these from showing up.
一つの段に二つのボードが置いてあったり、ケースから出たままのボードがあったりもしたっけ？あれは犯人がわざとそうしたんじゃないかな。自分の隠れ場所を確保するためにね。だって私たちがこの島に来たばっかの時はあんなに雑になってなかったはずだもん。じゃああの時犯人は私のすぐそばにいたの？
ああ、お前のすぐそばでじっと息を潜ませて隠れてたんだよ。
So they put her in this closet and then also hid in the closet.
言うなれば毒を食らわば皿までってやつっすね。
もしや東大元暮らしのことか？
I have no idea what that line was from Ibuki.
言うなればだって意味のわからない言葉を使うもんじゃないっすね。
とにかくそこにじっと隠れてた犯人は西園寺が出て行ったのを見計らった後でようやくサーフボードケースの中から出てきたんだ。僕もその意見には賛成だな。
誰もおめえには聞いてねえって。
罪をかぶせようとしている西園寺さんだけを残して犯人だけがビーチハウスを離れるわけないもんね。残された西園寺さんがその偽装工作を台無しにしたら犯人はどうしようもなくなっちゃうわけだし。
Yes, that's somebody else mentioned that as well.
そう、犯人が同じビーチハウスに隠れて西園寺さんを見張ってたと考える方が自然だよ。
聞いてねえのにペラペラ喋りやがって。よーし、ぶん殴られたくなかったらおとなしく俺にぶん殴られろ。おとなしくなったな。じゃあ歯を食いしばれよ。
ごめんワニさん、そうじゃなくてさ、ねえモノクマ、ちょっと気になったことがあるんだけど聞いてもいいかな？
Oh my goodness, here we go.
聖徳太子は未来人だったと思うよ。歴史が動く裏には決まって未来人が関係しているからね。
Wait, what is he talking about?
未来人の話はまた今度聞くとして、確か死体発見アナウンスが流れる条件に3人以上の人間が死体を発見ってあったよね。
Oh, that's right. The announcement is made when 3 or more people discover a body. It might say that somewhere in the regulations. Be considerate of each other and work together to obtain hope fragments. Okay, so that's how you obtain the hope fragment right there. Regulation 2. Littering's not allowed. The lead teacher cannot directly interfere with the students. Once a murder takes place, the class trial will begin shortly thereafter. Participation is mandatory. If the blackened is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. If the blackened is not exposed, the surviving blackened will be forgiven of their crime. The body discovery rule 9. The body discovery announcement will play as soon as 3 or more people discover a body for the first time. So that means 3 people at least saw that Mahiru was dead before Hajime walked in. So Hyoko is just one person, the killer is the second person. There's a third person, at least. My goodness, guys.
あの3人以上って 犯人自身も含めるの？
They have to be included.
ああ、そうだね。まあ基本的にはそういうことになってるよね。
歯切れが悪いね。
Come on, Monokuma.
まったくもう、そんなところに目をつけるなんて嫌な性格だな。言い訳から始めるようだけど、死体発見アナウンスは推理のためのものじゃないよ。あくまで公平に裁判を進めるためのもの。みんなに死体の発見を知らせるためのものなんだって
Okay,
な。
but what he's saying is that announcement should only go off when 3 or more people discover a body.
だから推理に持ち出されるのはいかんだって？まあその言い分もわからなくないけどね。
But it's not a good
だっ
excuse.
て死体を発見するシチュエーション次第では3人以上のルールが致命的になる場合もあるしね。
なので明言をしていない以上はフレキシブルな対応をさせていただいております。
Okay, so you're allowed to bend the rules.
フレキシブルな対応ね。で今回はどうなの？犯人を含んだ3人なの？そうじゃないの？
もう分かったよ。言えばいいんでしょ。今回は犯
It
人を
doesn't
含ん
include
で
the
ない
killer.
よ。はい、終わり。
つまり今回は犯人以外の3人が
The 3
小泉さんの
people
死
other
体を
than the
発
killer
見しているんだね。
discovered Mahida's body.
それがどうしたんだ？
なんとなく気になった
And
から
there's
聞いただ
something
けだ
very
よ。
wrong about that
それ
statement.
より話を戻そうか。
Because if it's not including the killer, then the only other person that we know about having been in that beach house is Hyoko. So who are the other 2 people?
お前さんが横道にそらしたんじゃろうが。
犯人がサーフボードケースに隠れてたってところからですよね。
そんでひよこちゃんが走り去った後で犯人は悠々と証拠隠滅ライフを味わったと。
No, they didn't destroy evidence, they planted evidence.
だが話を進める前にはっきりさせておかねばならぬことがあったはずだ。犯人は西園寺が逃げる前に死体でドアを塞いだはずだが、結局その時についた血はどうしたのだ。
そういや、その謎の決着がまだだったの。
大丈夫だよ。ここまでたどり着いた君たちならその答えだってすぐに見つけられるはずだよ。
Wait a second, what did Nakamoto just say? I gotta make sure I don't... like, some stuff is going in one ear and out the other. That mystery hasn't been solved yet. The killer blocked the roadside door with Mahida's body before Hyoko ran away. So, that means Hyoko was the first one to arrive at the beach house. Then the killer got there, knocked her out. Or no, the killer got there before Hyoko. Hyoko arrived, then the killer knocked her out, put her in the closet. And then when Mahito came in, killed her, put her body against the door, and then hid. All before Hyoko woke back up. And also planted evidence to incriminate her.
さあ、議論を再開さ
The
せよう
closing
か。
argument strip will make this all clear. Now then, I shall explain to you the final feature in the non-stop debates. From this point forward, you will now be able to use the truth flashback. Oh, I was waiting for this to come up. If you hold down the triangle button, the shape of the reticle will change. If you aim at the remark's weak spot and keep it in that position, you will be able to memorize it. This memorized phrase can only be fired once at a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change to a different truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or a mistake in your available truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to trust your keen wits, won't you? By the way, you'll not be able to agree with anyone while you're using the truth flashback. Please remember that it's only effective when refuting points. Well, good luck. Alright, let's hear what everybody has to say and figure out what is supposed to be memorized. Okay, shower room is the only bullet here.
犯人は体についた血をどうしたのかな。
Do with the blood on the body.
したんじゃないの？
Washed it off.
シャワーは使えねえんだろ。
They couldn't use the showers. Exactly.
なら洗い流すのは無理じゃねえか。
別にシャワーを使わなくったって。
あ、クローゼットのウェットスーツはあれを着て死体を運んだのかもよ。
シャワー以外のものを使えば。汚れたウェットスーツはどうすんのさ。
If you're implying that they used the wetsuit, that really puts Sonya at
毎
risk.
朝クソを流してる足には断言できる。
Oh my gosh.
絶対に詰まるぞ。
逆転の発想で
Other way around.
以外が死体を動かしたとか洗い流せたんじゃないかな。
If I use that person's opinion, I might be able to break through the contradiction. Whose opinion? Okay. Let's break in. The video and see what I gotta do here. Like, whose opinion am I memorizing? Can I memorize the true statements? Okay. Alright, I know what I have to do now. Let's go.
犯人は体についた血をどうしたのか。
シンプルに洗い流したんじゃないの？
シャワーは使えねえんだろ。なら洗い流すのは。
別にシャワーを使わなくったって。
あ、クローゼットのウェットスーツはあれを着て死体を運んだのかもよ。
シャワー以外のものを使
Okay.
えば。
Memorize what.
汚れたウェットスーツは
Why
どう
did
す
it
んの
not
さ。
do it?
バラしてトイレ。
Okay, hold on. Now I gotta start over.
逆転の発犯
For
人
some
以外
reason,
が
it
洗い
didn't
流せた
even.
んじゃないかな。
For some reason, it didn't do it.
犯人は体についた血をどうしたのかな。
シンプルに洗
シャワーはなら洗い流すの。
別にシャワーを使っ
あ、クローゼットのウェットあれを着て死体を運んだのかもよ。
シャワー以外のものを使えば。
Thank you.
汚れたウェットスーツはどうすんのさ。
バラしてトイレ。
毎朝絶対に
逆転の発犯
Okay,
人
fast forward through the rest of that. Hurry up. We're running out of time here.
犯人は体についた血をどうしたのかな。
シンプルに洗い流したんじゃないの？
シャワーは使えねえんだろ。なら洗い流すのは。
And again, I have it on gentle, so there's no words running in it, white noise words running through it.
帰り血を洗い流すだけなら何もシャワーを使わなくたってできたはずだ。
That's what Chiaki also said.
シャワー以外のものを使えばいいんだからな。
シャワー以外のものってなんだよ。
Something other than the shower that was used to wash off the blood. How about the drinks? Yeah, how about the drinks that were inside? I knew that they were gonna be
冷蔵庫
important.
の中のドリンクだ。あれを使えば体についた血を洗い流せるよな。
I knew that those drinks were gonna be important at some point. So, they're saying that that's what was used to clean the blood, but I'm trying to figure out, wash the blood off of what, because everything looked bloody. Okay, wait a minute, now we're fighting with her?
断言できるがそれはありえないぞ。
どうしてだよ。
Well, why is that impossible?
あの冷蔵庫をよく思い出してみろ。そうすればわかるはずだ。冷蔵庫のドリンクを使った可能性など存在しないということがな。
How? The bottles were empty. There were empty bottles. Alright, rebuttal showdown again. Here we go. Iron bar window footprints on the beach. Metal bat trash can.
ビ
I'm
ーチ
gonna
ハ
need
ウ
the
スの冷
trash
蔵
can.
庫には確かにドリンクがあったの。だがドリンク1本とても血を洗い流すには足りんぞ。
引くわけにはいかない。
Okay, hang on. Okay.
使ったドリンクが1本だけとは限らない。大量に使えば洗い流せるはずだ。
ありえないと言っただあの冷蔵庫色や匂いのつ
Oops, I
いた
cut the
ドリ
wrong
ンクは
thing.
そんなもので体はベタつき汚れ香料の匂い大量に使えば
Nope,
な
I'm
おさ
cutting
らだ
everything. I'm cutting the wrong things. Okay, hang on.
ビーチハウスの冷蔵庫には確かにドリンクがあったがドリンク1本の量などたかが
Oh, come on.
とても血を洗い流すには足りんぞ
Okay, crosswords again. This is the worst game out of all of them, man, I swear.
使ったドリンクが1本だけとは限らない。大量に使えば洗い流せるはずだ。
ありえないと言っただろあの冷蔵庫に色や匂いのそんなもので体はベタつき香料の匂いも簡単には消せまい
Okay, the aromatic smell. Okay, no.
しまった。
Okay, so that's still not it. I need to figure out which. So if it wasn't that word that I'm supposed to be slicing at, then it's the other one. So I need to slice that. Hang on. The trash can is the correct bullet that I had, or correct sword that I had to use. So if it's not that word that I have to slice at, then it's the other one. So let me just, before I look it up, let me just say if it's the other one.
ありえないと言っただろあの冷蔵庫色や匂いそんなもので
wait.
体はベタつき汚れも香料の匂いも簡単には消せまい
Okay, I gotta go
大
back.
量に使えばわざわざ怪しまれるようなものだぞ
Evidence to use against the argument. The first thing that she said is what I need to shoot at. There we go.
その言葉切らせてもらう。
No water bottle. I just saw no water bottle something. So it's hard to read that.
あの冷蔵庫には水があったんだよ。
Yeah, there were water bottles in the refrigerator. Those bottles in the trash can looked
何
like
度
they
も
were
言わせるの
bottles
あ
of
そこ
water.
には水などどこにも
それは事件後の話だろ。事件前は違う。ちゃんと水はあったんだ。
Yeah, before the incident, there had to have been bottles. Like you're not just gonna find a bunch of bottles in a trash can at the beach house right next to the fridge that they would have came from.
そして犯人はその水をすべて使って自分の体
To
の
wash
血
the
を
blood
洗
off
い流
their
し
own
たんだ。
body. Okay, yeah. To
全
clean
て使っ
themselves
た
off.
からあそこにはなかったというのかそんなものはこじつけだ
こじつけなんかじゃない。証拠ならちゃんとゴミ箱の中に残ってたはずだ。大量に捨てられた同じ種類のペットボトル。これがそうなんじゃないか。
ああ、確かにこれって水のペットボトルって感じのデザインだね。
Jeez, Anna, you used a ton of those
つ
bottles.
うか実際そうだぞ。俺何日か前にビーチハウスに行った時そのペットボトルで水を飲んだ気がする。
You did?
もっと早く気づいてくださいよ。ではペットボトルの水をシャワー代わりにしたのは本当なのですね。
大量のペットボトルの水を全身に浴びたなんて実にシンプルで納得しやすい答えっすもん
Okay, hold on a second. Now that I think about it, if they soaked their entire body with a bunch of plastic water bottles, if they did that, that person would be...
どうやら日向君も気づいちゃったみたいだね。犯人の正体に。
That means that if they did that, then they would have still been wet upon entering the diner with the other ladies. Was Pecco's story about going swimming for multiple hours just a big lie? Was her entire story about going swimming to see if there was a way off the island for 3 hours just a lie? Was she, by chance, in actuality, throwing water all over herself to get blood off of her? No, we'll see if that's what Hajime is thinking.
ほら、やっぱりそうだ。待ちやがれ。犯人に気づいただと。
It's still early, so
それって本当なんですか？
again, we don't know for I don't know for a fact,
それは誰を指している
but it seems like they're trying to lean in the direction of Pecco being the killer now. If the killer used plastic water bottles to wash up the blood that splattered onto them, that killer Mahiro's killer must be that person. They're trying to go in her direction now.
お前しかいない。ペコ山、お前なのか？
ちょっと何黙ってんの？犯人じゃないかって疑わ
You
れ
know,
てん
let's
だ
see
よ。
if they're right.
ではとりあえず聞いておこうか。なぜ私が犯人だと思うのだ？
海水浴の待ち合わせの時、ダイナーに来たお前の姿を思い出したんだ。
Yeah, she was drenched. She was completely drenched. Hajime and Kazuichi, why are you two here? Aren't you breathing pretty heavily? I just did a little swimming. Yeah, the whole I just did a little swimming thing.
犯人がペットボトルの水で全身を洗い流したなら、そいつは濡れてなきゃおかしい。
Yes.
ビーチハウスにはタオル類が置いてなかったし、
Those water bottles were a very, very, very crucial piece of evidence.
お前はそれをごまかすために人泳ぎしてきたなんて言ったんじゃない
Yeah,
のか。
just as I thought. They think that the swimming story was just a cover-up. Are they telling the truth? Again, it's still very early. So, oh, yep, here we go.
そいつをダイナーで見ただけでビーチハウスから来たのを見たわけじゃねえんだろ。
That doesn't mean she was never there.
だったら本当に泳いでただけかもしれねえだろ。
泳いでるのを見たやつだっていねえじゃねえか。
いや、俺が見てるぞ。
Okay, well, Fuyuhiko says he saw her swimming. So she has an alibi.
俺は
Or a
て
witness.
めえらとダイナーで会った後、ホテルに帰る途中でそいつとすれ違ったんだ。だからそいつは間違いなくビーチハウスとは逆の方向からダイナーに来たはずだ。
待てよ、それはおかしいだろ。さっきお前は言ってたじゃないか。
Just a coincidence that I passed by the diner. I didn't even pay attention to the beach house. Went straight back to the hotel after I saw you guys. I didn't see anyone during that time. So now you're lying. So now that was a lie.
お前は誰とも会ってないって言ったはずだ。忘れたなんて言わせないぞ。
まだだ。まだその女が犯人だって決めるのは早えぞ。
Yeah, you're right. It is too soon. But don't point the suspicion to yourself.
犯人がどうやってビーチハウスから出たのかがはっきりしてねえじゃねえか。
Yeah, well, he is right. We still haven't determined how they were able to leave the beach house, but we know it was the window.
そうでしたね。
Or I know.
道路側のドアは
Hajime
塞がれて
and
るし、
Akane know.
ビーチ側の方は足跡が残るから無理となれば。じゃあ犯人はどこからどうやって出たっつんだ。
Yeah, Hajime and Akane should know exactly how that
どうして
happened.
冬彦ちゃんがムキになってるんすか？疑われているのはペコちゃんなんすよ。
いいから答えろ。答えられるもんなら答えてみやがれ。
答えられるかもしれないよ。
本当にわかるというのか？今までずっとわからなかった謎なんだぞ。
でもね、ペコ山さんが犯人だと仮定すると、その謎の答えも見えてきそうな気がするんだ。
Alright, well.
そうか。ならば聞かせてもらおうか。ビーチハウスから出た方法とやらをな。
じゃあまずは犯人がどこから出たのかをはっきりさせよっか。
The killer's escape route. I might know what it is. You definitely know what it is. In fact, the only possible thing I could think of is that small window in the shower room. Finally coming up.
道路側の出入り口もビーチ側の出入り口も無理なら、他にか
Yep, sorry.
シャワールームの小窓以外にないはずだ。
あの窓の高さを知らねえのかよ。ペコ山に届くような高さじゃねえんだよ。
Again, we're still assuming that she's the killer right now.
手伝ってもらえば。
And that's the other thing that we still need to figure out. Why would somebody help the killer? There's nothing to gain from that.
肩車でもしたら届くかもしんねえけど、手伝った方が取り残されちまうぞ。
何か道具を使った可能性はありませんか？例えばロープのようなものとか。
I don't know where they would have got rope from.
で、使った後の道具はどうすんだ？外に捨てたとか間抜けなこと言うんじゃねえだろな。
いいな、それだと修学旅行のルールに引っかかるぞ。
Littering's not allowed. We just read it.
ポイ捨ては禁止。たとえ証拠品であってもそれは同じっすね。
ほら見ろ、やっぱあの窓からは出られねえんだよ。
They figured it out somehow.
道具を使えばいいんだよ。
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's something that we're not seeing. They figured it out somehow. There's no way they didn't escape through a window.
道具は使えないって今言ったばっかじゃないですか。道具を使えないって話だったっけ？道具を処分できないって話じゃなかった？そっか、別に処分なんかしなくてもずっと隠して持ってればいいんですよ。はあ？エコヤマお姉は水着なんだよ。隠すってどこに隠すの
No, which is why I really don't know if she's the killer. Of course not. Come on now. But what she just said, what Hyoko just said, is another main reason why I never suspected Peko. Because again, she was in the swimsuit, like bra and underwear. Like where would she have the ability to hide an object? She can't throw it anywhere because then that's littering. If somebody was gonna hide it on their body somewhere, it would have to be somebody who was wearing a full body suit, like a wetsuit, and the only person that was doing that was Sonia. So, I'm not sure if Peko is the killer, but the whole her coming into the diner drenched is definitely suspicious. But she has an alibi. Apparently, Fuyuhiko saw her swimming. Even if the killer used an object to escape out the window, they wouldn't have been able to get rid of it. So the only thing I can think of is that the killer must have hid it somewhere. If that's the case, focus and think. The object the killer used to escape out the window... Are we back on the... Oh, Hangman's Gambit. Well, what did they use to do it? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, wait a minute. I already forget how to play this game. I already forget how to play the game. Okay, nope. Oh, wait. I remember now. Oh, yep, there is a B. So, there is a B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first word is a 6-letter word. And the second word is a 5-letter word. And it starts with the letter B. I have an idea of what the word could be. Like a 6-letter word and a 5-letter word that fits. But then I have no idea how that would play out. So a 6-letter word that starts with B. And then a 5-letter word to follow that as a way to escape. The first thing that comes to my mind is the bungee cords. But how would they pull that off? Okay, another one that will work is bottled water. but that's kind of backwards. Let me just see if that's it. Okay. Okay, I'm losing health here. Okay, nope, okay, is there an A in here? Is that what they want me to say? Oh, B-A. B-A? So it's a B. So the other two things I said are out the table now. A B-A? A 6-letter word that starts with B-A. As a way to escape. No, I'm stumped on that one. What's gonna follow the A? I gotta see what's gonna... Is there an N in that? B-A-M. Oh, come on. No, that's not the right answer. Okay. I am losing way too much health right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm losing way too much health right now. Yeah, there's... Oops. Is there an O somewhere? Or a D? No. Okay, yeah, I'm too much time is running out. But it starts with B-A-M. Alright, I need another O. Like, I need an O. They're making this very difficult here. I need an O. And I need a second O. No, we're running out of time here. Where are the O's at? What the heck was that letter? Okay, here's another O. So, the bamboo strap. Oops. Wrong thing. Or bamboo, let me see. Yeah, a bamboo strap. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for bamboo strap. I believe. I need a T. Yeah, no, oh, okay. Or let me see if it's here. Oh, bamboo. Okay, oops. Bamboo is SW. Okay, I'm losing way too much health. Alright, so we need... Is there another O? Bamboo sword. They're looking for bamboo sword. Alright, I need a D. Come on now, we're running out of time. Okay, got it. With 12 seconds to spare. A bamboo sword.
ペコ山ってさ、その背中の竹刀をいつも肌身離さず持ち歩いてるよな。
So if Penko actually used a bamboo sword to escape out of that window, then they nailed her.
確かあの時もそうだったな。
She still had it with her.
お前は水着姿だったにもかかわらず、竹刀だけはちゃんと身につけてたよな。
Yeah, she was wearing a swimsuit, but she still had the bamboo sword on her back. So they believe that she used that sword to escape through the window.
そのまさかだよ。ペコ山はその竹刀を踏み台に
But
して
are they
窓か
correct
ら出
in
たんだ。
predicting this?
刀を踏み台に。
ほら、やっぱ忍者じゃねえか。だから言ってろ。忍者だったら簡
Yeah,
単
she
に
did
登
say
れるっ
that.
て。忍者には壁登りの技があんだよ。壁に立てかけた刀のつばの部分を踏み台にすんだ。
ああ、ジャパニーズ忍者ですね。
ソニアさん、忍者はジャパンにしかいないんです。
ペコ山さんの場合は竹刀だったけど、まあ体重の軽い女子なら苦もなく登れる。
Yep, so slender, nimble, athletic. Let me get some water. Like, that seems very, very possible, seeing as though she was still carrying it on her. So, now, not only do they have the water bottles as evidence against Peko, they now have her sword as evidence against her.
どうだ、ペコ山。何か反論はあるか？
Does she have any kind of rebuttal, or is she going to remain silent? The time has come once again for the panic talk action. Let's talk a little bit about Fever Time and Nega Time. From this point on, you'll be able to use Fever Time by pressing the R1 button during PTA. When Fever Time is activated, the tempo will be pushed to its max. But that's not all. You won't miss during Fever Time either. Oh crap, I don't remember this game. Oh my god. By pressing the X button when applicable, you can destroy your opponent's verbal assault. But only until your focus gauge runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, you're not the only one who can get the upper hand. So there's something called Nega Time that your opponent can use too. If your opponent activates Nega Time, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit difficult to press the buttons in rhythm. So in that case, please time the rhythm not with your eyes, but with your ears and your passionate heart. Yes, if you can't clear it, you can always change the difficulty setting. I'm not going to tell them that. They'll have to redo the class trial for that chapter if they do that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't change the difficulty now. It's too late. You know, so now we know, if you try to change the difficulty, I mean, you can't even do that. You would have to start the entire class trial over. Again for you? Well, yeah, that's right. Then what about the sword? And how did she get the sword back out? Because he's trying not to die. Fuyuhiko, why? Well, why are you... Alright, here we go. Wait. Okay, wait a minute. Am I supposed to be firing? That's the final strike. Reload, final strike. Oh, I'm supposed to be pressing the circle button. Okay, that's not working. My goodness. Wait, I can't. Okay, no. That was the wrong thing. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. Bamboo sword bag. Bamboo sword bag. Perfect. Got it. It was just the bag, not the sword itself. And again, this is speculation, but it's a very good speculation. It's still way too early.
常に市内を携帯するペコ山さんだからこその離れ技。超高校級の剣道家にふさわしい方法って言えるよね。だからこそ残念だよ。僕に協力させてくれれば、もっと素敵な計画になったかもしれないのにな。
おめえは引っ込んでろ。
本当なんですか。
If you got anything to say for yourself, now's the time to defend yourself. Because this is a very good accusation here. Making assumptions, I mean, yeah, it's all speculation, but if you got... It's fine.
もういいと言ったのだ。これ以上は何を言ったところで ただの悪あがきだ。
She admitted it just now, right? She admitted she's Mahito's killer, right? But is this right? It's still way too early. So, there's a possibility that it's not right. Even though Fuyuhiko was the one arguing with us, Peko just admitted it so freely.
花は桜木、人は武士といったところか。その潔さだけは認めてやろう。よし、貴様が認めるならそれで終わりだ。それでは投票タイムを始めよう。
So, if Peko, even after all that speculation that was just given about the water bottles and the sword, if she in actuality isn't the killer, then at this point, who's left to be suspicious of? Because, for me, there's still Sonia. Because she was wearing a wetsuit and there were wetsuits in that closet. And nobody has touched on that. But, Gundam, I don't see how Gundam could be a possibility in this time. I'm not seeing how. But if they bring it up, then they bring it up. Mikan, again, I don't see how she could have been the killer. Hyoko has already been proven innocent. Fuyuhiko continues to argue with everybody on every accusation they try to make. And I really don't know why.
そうだな。さっさと始めてくれ。
She might just be trying to get everybody to vote her out.
その前に
Yep,
一つ
thank
だ
you.
け確認させて。
Just before we do anything, let's just confirm something real quick. Because again, it's still way too early, even though I'm already over an hour into the stream. It's still too early. The guide video that I'm using is not close to over. This guide video is over an hour long, and I'm not even half an hour in. Not even 25 minutes in. So, hang on a second. Okay. Let's just go over all the evidence one more time.
投票タイムの後ではダメなのか？
それにも関わる大事な話なんだよね。ほら、猫山さんの動機についてだよ。
Because what even is her motive? If she is the killer, what is your motive?
結局あなたはトワイライトシンドローム殺人事件と
Exactly, she was not related. That's the number one reason why I didn't pick her. And I already said that any name that was listed as being involved in that game, or AKA in the murder case, had to be a primary suspect. Or just more of a suspect than anybody who wasn't listed. Peko was not one of the names listed unless what I said earlier in the last stream is true. Somebody might be using a fake name. Which again, if somebody is using a fake name, the only two people that I would suspect is Peko and Sonia. Because, I'm sorry, Pekoyama sounds like a fake name. I'm sorry, that sounds like a fake name. But Sonia, never mind, that especially sounds like a fake name. So, if somebody used a fake name, then those two would be a suspect. Because again, a name Sato, we have no idea who that is.
だったらさ、どうして小泉さんを殺しちゃったの？
そんなことか。そうだな。その質問に答えるとしたら、我が大義のためとなるのかな。
Sake of justice, huh?
大義？
Justice?
この世の正義を守るためだ。
Huh?
私はたかが支援ごときで自分の手を汚したりはしない。私が人を殺す理由はただ一つ。正義を守るためだ。
Okay, but what does that even mean?
何を言っとるんじゃ。
正義こそが人間を人間たらしめる秩序、人間が誇るべき美徳。正義は永遠の太陽であり、不滅の月である。幸せを守る父であり、優しく微笑む母である。
もしもし、ペコちゃん。
Yeah, exactly. Like, hello? You still with us right now,
正
Peko?
義がこの世から消えるようなことがあれば、たちまち世界は凍りつき、人々からは微笑みが消えてしまうだろう。そうはさせない。
もういい、もうやめろ。
正義は絶えずに我らの頭上に輝き、我らを導く存在でなければならないのだ。
So, but what does that mean about you potentially killing Mahito?
やめろって言ってんだろうが。
だから私は戦う。正義を守るために戦い続けるのだ。
これはまさか。
輝く正義を仮面に浴びて、醜き悪の五臓六腑をぶちさらす。
Oh, wait a minute. You see, now when Sonya kept mentioning the, that serial killer, she did mention the word justice multiple times. But there's a chance that Peko might be like Genocide Jack, where they are in truth a serial killer, but did not actually commit a murder in this island. So if Pekoyama is actually, I forgot the name of the serial killer, but it's something Justice, I believe. So the mask is hers, yep. Oh my goodness, guys. Sparkling Justice, yep. So, Pekoyama is actually Sparkling Justice. That mask belonged to somebody completely unexpected. In that case.
なんだそりゃ。ペコ山よ。何しとんじゃ。
This is, once again in complete shock.
キラキラちゃん。キラキラと輝く正義のもと、正義を振りかざしにやってきたのだ。
What are those emoticons?
何これ、うすら寒くて付き合えないよ。
ペコちゃんが普通しちゃった。
皆さん気をつけてください。キラキラちゃんは正義の味方を自称するシリアルキラーなのです。古今東西のさまざまなヒーローものの覆面をかぶって犯罪者を殺しまくる殺人鬼のはず。
Which is again why I don't know if she actually killed somebody here, like Mahito. She might be a Genocide Jack kind of person.
正義の味方、それでお面をかぶってんのか。
これは線引きのようなものだ。
The dividing line?
あらゆる偶像崇拝がそうであるように、太陽は手が届かないからこそ尊い。ならば正義もそうあるべきだ。
よくわからんが。
I don't get it either.
こいつはどえれえことになっちまったの。
Sorry for snorting. Just what? Oh, what the heck is this? And Penko is the killer? Well, why is it turning out like this?
これは驚きの超展開ですよ。グースかグー。
He's still asleep. Come on.
ちょっと寝てる場合じゃないですって。ほら殺人鬼ですよ。グースかグー。またかよ。寝言？
で、さっきの質問の答えは？
Yeah, exactly, because you didn't answer the question at all. Which makes me think that she didn't do
こ
it.
の世界は正義の光で満たされてなければならない。そこに一切の影も許してはならないのだ。悪、即、残、殺。どんな状況であろうとも悪を見過ごすわけにはいかない。
But what about Mahiro is evil?
まさか小泉お姉のこと？
それを知ってたってことは君もあのゲームをプレイしたんだね。
おかげでドブネズミのようにコソコソと隠れていた人殺しの共犯者を見つけることができた。
Hey, you were able to find the killer's accomplice.
では、あいつ
What?
が小泉を殺した理由というのは？
無論正義を守るためだ。
Well, actually, yeah, we knew that Mahiro. We were saying that Mahiro must have been an accomplice
正義を
to
守るために
to girl E's
私が無
murder.
慈悲な剣となり、そして正義を執行したのだ。やばい、わかりやすいぐらいにベタなサイコパスじゃないですか。
All right, I'm gonna go blow my nose, guys. Hang on, because I'm just completely thrown for a loop right now. So this also means that my theory about somebody using a fake name was also correct. Because, well, somewhat correct, because Peko Pekoyama, that could be the real identity, but we now know that Peko was hiding behind a different persona.
ペコ山、それがお前の本性なのか？
本性？自分が何者かなど
Already forgotten who I am.
私にはそれだけの覚悟があるということだ。最も大切なものを守るために大切なものを捨てる覚悟がな。この世を正義でキラキラと照らすことができるのなら、私は何者にでもなろう。
What is that laugh?
もう限界だ。こんな茶番劇さっさと終わらせるぞ。
Well, unfortunately, it's still quite early. End it. He's right. This we need to end this already. The killer, in the end, there's no mistake that it was Peko all along.
この事件をもう一度最初から振り返って。
Do we know that definitively? Okay, well, we're starting to close an argument. Alright, well. Okay, so we got yeah, and this is the part that's always going to be way too difficult in this game because was the one? On the morning of the incident, Mahiru met. So does that mean this goes here? No. On the morning of the incident, Mahiru met. Looks like Mahiru's talking to me. At the beach house. Come on, man. Like, I can't keep getting these all wrong. Like, it's too difficult to figure out where all these are supposed to go. Okay, thank you. That one has to go there. I'll leave next to the body. We don't have that picture yet. Wash off the blood. That should go here then. Where should I hide? We don't have that picture yet. The first one who found the body. Hyoko arrives at the beach house. No, that's... no. The big piece of evidence. In the closet after Hyoko ran away. We don't have any of these pictures yet. We don't have any of these pictures yet. On the morning of the incident, Mahiru met. Like, I still can't tell where the other pictures go. Like, I can't tell where the other pictures are supposed to go. Alright, I'm just gonna have to look up the rest of these answers. Okay. So this one is supposed to go here. Okay, you are supposed to go here. Like, come on, man. Like, the hints don't help. mask. Like, I should be able to figure out where this is supposed to go. Leave next to the body the mask. Kyoko is still sleeping. I feel like that's where this should go, but I can't afford to get any more wrong now. Okay, you go here. Okay. You go here. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you go here. The footprints to the beach house. That should be here. Okay, last stock. Yeah, you go here. Forge 2 letters. This happened way before. Oh, yep. Okay, so then this has to go here then. Yes. Okay, perfect. Don't need any other ones.
事件の始まりは今朝のことだ。小泉が西園寺に声をかけたところからだった。
Alright, here's the full story. So it turns out that Peko was the killer.
きっと小泉は動機として与えられたトワイライトシンドローム殺人事件をプレイして自分と同じようにゲームの登場人物だった誰かにその内容について相談したかったんだろう。そして、
Okay, so that's why they
西園
wanted
寺
to
は
talk.
小泉の誘いに応じ2人は後でゆっくり話をする約束を交わした。だけどそんな2人の約束を聞いていた人物がいた。そいつこそが今回の事件の犯人なんだよ。2人の会話を盗み聞いた犯人はその約束を利用したある殺人計画を思いついた。
This guide video is still not even close to over though. Like, not even close. Like, something tells me that this is still not it.
あるものを用意することで2人の行動を操ろうと企んだんだ。それは手紙だ。小泉と西園寺のそれぞれに偽物の手紙を送ったんだ。小泉には14時30分にビーチハウスへ来てほしいという内容の手紙を送り、一方の西園寺には14時ちょうどにビーチハウスへ来てほしいという内容の手紙を送った。そうやって約束の時間を別々にすることで2人をバラバラにビーチハウスへとおびき出したんだ。その手紙にまんまと騙された西園寺は手紙通りに14時にビーチハウスを訪れ、そこで待ち構えていた犯人によって眠らされてしまったんだ。 西園寺を眠らせた犯人はすぐに彼女をクローゼットの中に隠した。後で彼女を犯人に仕立て上げるためにだ。
Okay.
そしてそのまま14時30分になると、今度は小泉がビーチハウスを訪れた。自分が殺人の標的として狙われているとも知らずにな。そんな無防備な小泉に背後から近づいた犯人はある凶器を構えた。あの現場に残ってた金属バットだ。金属バットは小泉の後頭部に振り下ろされ、そこで小泉は息絶えた。
But where the heck did she get a bat
住木の
from?
検視によると、小泉は即死だったらしいから、犯人が誰かもわからないまま殺されたんだろうな。こうして小泉を殺すという目的を達成した犯人は、そこから現場の偽装工作を開始したんだ。
Man, Act 5. 5 acts of this.
まず小泉の死体を引きずって移動させ、その死体で道路側のドアを封鎖してしまった。それと現場に落ちていた仮面も、そこで犯人が自ら残したものなんだろうな。理由はわからないけど、犯行声明みたいなものなのかもしれない。
I'm still under the impression that what other people were saying earlier about two people working together to escape.
俺たちが死体を発見した時の状況はこうやって作られたんだ。
Oh, what if the actual killer planted that mask there? Working together with Peko to plant that mask there. Because it's still too early.
だけど小泉の死体を動かしたせいで、犯人はその返り血を体に付着させて
At
しまっ
least
た。
according to the fact that the guide video is nowhere close to over.
しかもシャワールームは故障中で水が出ないから、それを洗い流すこともできない。でもそんなことは犯人の想定内だった。犯人は自分の体の血を洗い流すためにシャワー以外の別のものを使ったんだ。ビーチハウスの冷蔵庫にあったペットボトルの水だ。おそらく一連の犯行に及ぶ前からシャワールームにそれを運んでおいたんだろうな。犯人は水の出ないシャワーの代わりに、それで自分の体に付着した血を洗い流したんだ。ただ空になったペットボトルだけはビーチハウスのゴミ箱に捨てるしかなかったんだろう。屋外に物を捨てるのは禁止だし、別の場所に運ぶのは時間がかかるからな。そうやって血を洗い流した犯人は西園寺がいるクローゼットのある場所に隠れたんだ。犯人はあらかじめ空にしておいたサーフボードケースの中に隠れたんだよ。そしてそのまま時間が経つと、睡眠薬の効果が切れた西園寺が目を覚ました。クローゼットから出てきた西園寺はかなり動揺したはずだ。会う約束をしていたはずの小泉がなぜか目の前で死んでたんだからな。西園寺はそのショックと自分が疑われるかもしれないという焦りから、慌ててビーチハウスを飛び出してしまったんだ。そのせいで西園寺は砂浜に足跡を残してしまったんだ。全ては西園寺をはめるための犯人の罠だったんだよ。
Yeah, every single last detail was all a trap.
そして西園寺が立ち去った後、犯人はようやくサーフボードケースから出てくると、西園寺にさらなる疑惑を向けるため事前に準備していたグミを置いたんだ。もっとも結果的にはそれが西園寺の疑惑を晴らす手助けになるんだけどな。
Yeah, because they placed the flavor that she doesn't eat.
そして最後に犯人はビーチハウスからの脱出に取り掛かった。もちろんビーチから出て足跡を残すわけにはいかないから、犯人は別のルートでビーチハウスから脱出したんだ。それはシャワールームの小窓だ。ただ小窓は高い位置にあるから普通じゃ届かない。そこで犯人はある意外な道具を使ったんだ。犯人がいつも身につけていた竹刀だ。犯人はその竹刀の柄に竹刀を入れていた袋を結びつけ、
I'm telling you, man, every single time
そ
I'm
して
just
市内
amazed
袋を片手に持っ
at
たま
how
ま
witty these
市
killers
内
try
を
to
踏み
be.
台にして小窓に飛び移ったんだ。そうやって外に出ることができれば、あとは市内袋を引っ張って市内を回収するだけだ。こうしてビーチハウスを後にした犯人は何食わぬ顔で俺たちの前に現れた。だけど濡れた髪と水着はすぐには乾かない。それを拭くタオルもビーチハウスにはなかった。だから犯人は言い訳のために俺たちにこう言ったんだ。人泳ぎしてきた後だって。
Wait, so if they hid it in a surfboard case after dumping the water on themselves, they still didn't have any time to dry off at all?
どうだ、これがお前が起こした事件の真相だ。そうだよな、ペコ山ペコ。
なるほどな。で、それがどうしたのだ。へっちゃらかよ。私には何もやましいことなどないからな。
何言ってんのさ。小泉お姉を殺した分際で。
Insane to say that in front of all of us.
違う。私は正義の名のもとに悪を成敗しただけだ。
You still haven't necessarily answered what about Mahito was
断
evil.
罪される理由などどこにもない。
もういいよ。さっさと投票を終わらせてこの天然ド変態女をぶっ殺しちゃおうよ。
殺されるわけがない。正義は決して殺されはしないぞ。それ
You
はお
wanna
前た
bet?
ちにもよくわかっているはずだ。
何を言っている。
いいか、最も大切なものを守るためには大切なものを捨てる覚悟が必要なのだ。わかったか。わかりません。何もわかりません。
Why is Monokuma still asleep? Like, wake up! Yes, welcome in, Uncle Fett. Yes.
では担当直入に言おう。お前たちには
We are watching Peko
正義の執行をしてもらう。
completely unfold. As you can see, she's wearing the mask. He does think it's mid. I'm telling you, it's like he's sleeping through all this.
自分の命を諦めるのだ。
Like, see, her saying that we must all give up our lives makes me think that she's trying to get everybody killed by voting wrong. Like, it's making me think even more that she's not the killer. The guide video that I'm watching is nowhere near over.
本気どころか正義だ。ここで私が倒れたら誰がこの世の悪を取り締まるというのだ。さあ、自分の中にある正義の心に従うのだ。そして正義を守るために私を救え。
Save your life so you could potentially kill somebody else?
とっとと正義を執行しろ。
ふざけんな。誰がおめえなんかのために死ぬか。
ここでペコちゃんを見逃したら伊吹たちが皆殺しにされちゃうじゃないですか。偉大なる正義のためであれば多少の犠牲はやむを得まい。
You keep on saying that we have some really crazy people in this game, man.
安心しろ。お前たちが命を賭して守った正義は決して無駄にはしないぞ。
もう付き合ってらんないよ。早く投票して処刑しちゃおうってば。ですけど。
Oh, here it comes.
モノクマよ、投票じゃ。
むくむくむくむく。あ、やっと来た。話は聞かせてもらった。いや、聞いてなかったけ
Yeah,
ど
we knew you weren't
別に
listening.
いいや。では、お前らはお手元のスイッチを押して
Now
投
wait,
票してください。
Sonia was trying to say something.
投票の結果、黒となるのは誰か。その答えは正解なのか不正解なのか。プププププ、ワクワクのドキドキだよね。
That dude slept through the entire trial. Alright, well, looks like we're done.
もう少しだけよろしいでしょうか。
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's trying to tell us to stop and have some more time.
すみません。もう少しだけ話し合いを続けさせてください。
話し合いを続けるって、でも投票は
Like,
終わっ
I'm
ちゃいました
telling you,
よ。
man, like, it's too early, still.
ですけど、どうしても気になって。だって、こんなの絶対におかしいんですって。
ね、は？
おかしいとはどういう意味じゃ？犯人はペコ山で間違いないはずだぞ。
それはそうなんですけど、ただ
That is true. So you know.
ペ
However,
コヤマさ
what?
んは本当にキラキラちゃんなのか。殺人鬼マニアのソニアさんはそれを気にしてるんだね。
おい、ソニアさんは殺人鬼マニアなんかじゃねえぞ。人より少しだけ熱狂的な情熱を注いでいるだけだ。
世間ではそれをマニアと呼ぶんす。
Yeah, exactly. Like,
実
come
は
on now.
僕も疑問に思ってたんだよね。だってさ、ソニアさんの知るキラキラちゃんとペコヤマさんとでは決定的な相違点があるもんね。
The killer used a baseball bat. Where did Peko get a bat from?
決定的な相違点。
Hey, some water. Hang on. Alright.
ね、ソニアさんはキラキラちゃんについて以前こんな風に言ってたんだよ。
正義で貫く正義のど真ん中、闇夜に輝くと正義一番星。人呼んでキラキラちゃんとは私のことだ。
Then we say, what the heck? Okay, so that was a catchphrase. An unknown serial killer has a catchphrase? Only one person's ever interviewed Spartan Justice. The article was written in their native language, so we tried translating it. So that's what it was. I think I've got the difference between the serial killer and Peko. And nationality.
そうだ。あの時のソニアの言葉からすると、
あの雑誌にその時のレポートが原文で載っていたので、私がそれを訳してみたのです。
No, they didn't
訳してみ
speak
た
their
ってことは
language.
つまり日本語じゃなかったってことだよな。
Or in their case, it wasn't written in Japanese. In our case, English.
はい、私が読んでいたあの雑誌はスペイン語の雑誌だったのです。ですから、そこに載っていたキラキラちゃんのセリフも間違いなくスペイン語で。
I was not expecting that to be the language that she had to translate it from. I just was not expecting that. Alright, well, let's go. Which one of you speaks Spanish then? Which one of you speaks Spanish?
つまり、キラキラちゃんと遭遇したジャーナリストも、そして
日本人じゃねえってことか。
All this time, I completely misunderstood. When I first heard about those serial killers, Genocide Jack and Sparkling Justice, I just assumed both serial killers were from the same country. But that wasn't the case. If so,
ペコヤマ、お前はキラキラちゃんなんかじゃない。そのはずがないんだ。
それでも自分がキラキラちゃんって言い張るなら、今の決め台詞を今度はスペイン語で
yeah,
言って
let's
もら
go.
えるか
Break
な
out the Spanish. If you can speak it, now's your chance to say something.
お前にそれができるのか。
Alright, Peko, listo? You ready?
どうやらこの仮面の剥がれる時が来たようだな。
It's been time to take the mask off. Yeah, Duolingo saved me, exactly.
だがそれでいい。 私にとってはもう必要のないものだ。そして今頃気づいたところでお前たちは手遅れだ。私の役割はとっくに終了している。私の道具としての役割はもうすべて
as a
完了し
tool.
ているのだからな。
In other words, accomplice.
あれ、なんかまた元に戻っちゃいましたけど。
She's covering for somebody.
あの仮面はもう用済みだ。今の私と同じようにな。
なんだよそれ。用済みとか手遅れとかどういう意味だ。
すでに投票を終えた今となってはという意味だ。
Yeah, exactly. Everybody already cast their votes. Like, I knew it, man. I said it was too early.
おい、はっきりせんか。こっちはお前さんの目的を聞いておるんじゃぞ。
目的などあるわけがない。私はただの道具に過ぎないのだからな。
道具ってどういう意味なんですか？
ペコ山さんが道具ってことはさ、つまり
Somebody
その道
else.
具を使った人が他にいるってことだ
Like,
よね。
I'm telling you.
当然だろう。道具は道具だけでは
Of
何
the
もできないの
entire
だからな。
idea that two people work together, it looks like it was true.
なるほどね。ようやく分かったよ。まあなんとなくそんな気が
Oh
して
my
たんだ
gosh,
け
how
ど
many
ね。
times are you gonna make it seem like you understood something?
どういうことなんだ。
つまり殺人現場になったビーチハウスにはペコ山さんと西園寺さん以外の
It
別の
was
誰
said
かがい
that
たんだ。
three people besides the killer were at the beach house. Or three people, not including the killer, witnessed the body. Three people, not including the killer, witnessed the body. That would be Peko, Hyoko, and a third person. Well, they said three people, not including the killer. So, was that a lie or what? There's a third person who was at that beach house.
別の誰か？
ほら、それを裏付ける根拠だってあったはずだよ。よく思い出してみてよ。
Somebody else mentioned that they walked past the beach house. Didn't Fuyu say something like that? The proof that there was one more person at the scene of the crime. The body discovery announcement.
そうか。それって死体発見アナウンスのことを言
When
ってるのか。
three or more people discover a body.
そうだよ。
Monokuma said it was not including the killer. So what about this time? Is it three people including the killer or not? And he said it's not. And he said it does not
あの
include
ア
the
ナウン
killer.
スは3人以上の人間が死体を発見すると流されるもの。そして今回のケースでは犯人であるペコ山さんは含まれていない。だとすると死体を発見したのは西園寺さんと相田君だけってことになるけど。
Hyoko and Kazuichi.
そっか。それだと一人足りないんだね。
Nobody mentioned Kazuichi. So yeah, that's right. He was in the he did discover the body. He is one of the people. So minus Peko, Hyoko, Kazuichi. There's one more person who discovered that dead body before we did. Now there is one more person who discovered the dead body before we did. The only other people who were not with anybody else between the diner and the beach was Fuyuhiko and Nekomaru. So is it one of them two?
となれば必然的にあの場にはもう一人いたということになる。
There was one more person in the beach house, and they escaped before everybody else made their way in.
しかもモナクマがフレキシブルに対応してまでその事実を隠そうとしたってことは、それは裁判の行方を握る重要な手がかりのはずだよ。例えば今日話したとか。
いや、そうじゃない。
ちょっと
ああ、根本的な考え方からして間違っているな。言ったはずだぞ。私は道具だと。
Okay.
つまり、私はそのお方に使われるだけのただの道具でしかないのだ。
But what does that mean then?
今回の事件において誰よりも強烈な動機を持っていたあの人のことだよね。
Now wait a minute. The only person, the only possible person is him. He's the only possible person.
お前しかいない。クズ竜のことか。
I said from the very beginning, but after walking back my claim that the killer had to be a female, that after playing that game, the killer had to have been a male. Again, that was a prediction. But it was a male who said that they will never forgive Girl E. And then Girl E ends up dead. Mahiru was not Girl E, she was Girl D. Girl E was somebody named Sato, which means that person is dead. Oh, why was and that means that Mahiru was then targeted for being an accomplice to the killing, like I said. I kept saying that Fuyuhiko was at the top of my list because of that simple fact. Oh, let's see if they're all right.
そっか。ここでようやくつながるんだね。
I knew that it was too early.
今回の事件が。
And despite us already coming up with the whole closing argument, I knew that everything was happening too soon.
完全に信じられる根拠だってなかったはずだぞ。そんなゲームなんかが強烈な動機って言えんのかよ。
His little sister was killed. The events that occurred in the game should have definitely occurred in real life. There's overwhelming proof of that too. The bat is number one. The events that occurred in the game should have definitely occurred in real life. So no, the bat is not... The bat is not the thing. It's something else. Hang on. You know, I am timed on this. Is it the window? No. It's not the bat or the window. Or the entrance hall photo. No, that's enough. Like, I'm not gonna keep on guessing this wrong. The events that occurred in the game should have definitely occurred in real life. There's overwhelming proof of that. Let's try this one. Yeah, I'm guessing. I'm guessing all of it wrong. It can't be the frozen. Wait, killers is. Yeah, forget it. No, no.
これで証明できる。小泉の殺人に関係ないならそこまでして確かめる必要ないって思ってた
Okay,
けど。
well, I clicked on X and it went through, but I don't remember what I clicked on.
あのゲームは間違いなく現実でも起きてたん
The
だ。
end prize. Okay, so it was the ending prize.
クリア得点を見れば明らかだったんだよ。
So the mask
ク
was
リア
not
得
the
点
end
として
prize.
もらえた写真に写ってたのはどれもゲームの画面なんかじゃなかった。
It was all of the photos, not just one of them.
どれも現実の風景を切り取った本物の写真だったんだ。
Surrounding scenery cropped out.
本当はクズリュウだって分かってたんだろう。犠牲者になった女子高生が自分の妹かどうかってことは分かってたんだろう。
He knew all along and tried to hide it.
だって最初にあのゲームをクリアしてクリア得点を手に入れた
I
やつって
kept telling myself in my head that if Fuyuhiko was in fact the killer, it's so telling. It's so telling that a Yakuza would commit a murder. What's that envelope? What's inside? Shut up, what makes you think you have any right to... Oh, this was a minute ago. This was a minute ago. He had an envelope in his hand. And we asked him about it.
あの封筒がそうだったんだろう。クリア得点を受け取ったの
The
は
envelope that he was holding was the ending prize. But he had it the whole time. He was the first one to have it. That conversation was a minute ago. It was a while ago before the incident happened.
そんな風に自分の妹の死体写真を見せつけられたらさすがに信じるしか
I
なくなっ
think
ちゃう
that
よね。
conversation was in part 8 of my gameplay, which just went available on my YouTube channel.
それでもその事実を否定したくてその確認のために写真を小泉さんに送りつけたんだね。
ねえ、どうしてクズリュウの話になってんの？そんなのどうでもいいじゃん。だって殺したのはペコ山なんでしょ？
No,
そう
she's
なんだ
not.
よね。犯人はペコ山なんだよね。
She's not the killer.
もう投票しちゃいましたよ。
And everybody already voted. Yeah, exactly, but it's too late.
私はただの
But
道
I
具にしか過ぎない
kept
存
on
在だ。
thinking in my head the whole time, if we all cast this vote now, we're gonna be wrong. Because it's too early.
私には小泉を殺す動機などないし、殺す理由もなければ殺す意思もない。私はただ道具として使われただけだ。道具である以上は命令には逆らえないからな。
なあ、何がどうなってんだ？誰か簡単に説明してくんねえ
Fuyu
か？
is literally sweating right now.
つまり私は犯人ではないということだ。私という凶器を使ったクズリュウ冬彦こそが小泉真昼を殺した真犯
Oh,
人なの
we
だ。
should have knew this all a freaking long, man. We're like, no, we should have known that all along, guys. So that means I finally get the point. For the first time since the first class trial of the first game, I have gotten one right. I said that Fuyuhiko was at the top of my list. After seeing that it was a male that said, I will never forgive you for killing my little sister, and after finding out that Fuyuhiko is the one who was Guy F, I said he was at the top of my list. I didn't want to make it seem like I knew for sure, but that was my prediction. And I wanted to wait until everything else was investigated a little bit more, but and nothing else that was investigated was incriminating enough. But I never once suspected Pekka until they talked about her showing up still drenched, and then came up with that whole way of escaping through the window. And the water bottles. Like, that all seemed believable, but this is why I have the guide video up. This guide video is over an hour long. And yeah, we were done the class trial. And we're done the class trial, and we're in the closing argument, and it's 35 minutes in. Like, it's way too early. They should have known this all along, man.
それがペコ山さんの狙いなんだね。
いや、私には狙いなどない。それがあるとすれば、坊ちゃんの方だ。これはすべて坊ちゃんが計画したことだからな。
You're young, master.
坊ちゃん。
それがこの事件の真相だ。今さら気づいたところでもう手遅れだがな。投票のやり直しなどもうできないのだ。
それは困ったね。
That's a huge problem.
もしペコ山さんの主張が通っちゃったら、私たちは全員不正解ってことになっちゃうよ。
My goodness, guys.
その場合に生き残るのって。
俺だけ。
おかしいよ。そんなのどう考えたっておかしいって。
大体ペコ山のどこが道具なんじゃ。ペコ山はれっきとした人間だろうが。
それを決めるのはお前たちではない。モノクマだ。すでに投票は終了している。あとはモノクマの判断に従うしかないはずだ。
なんだよそれ。
Alright, what grade do I get this time? Dang it, man. A B again? Okay, hang on. Before I press anything else, let me just blow my nose to use the bathroom again. I got a B in 2 consecutive class trials. Alright. So, final grade, once again, a B. It's not bad, just...
迷うな。迷いつつもとりあえずはこれで終了ってことで、そしてお楽しみの結果
Take a recess,
発表は
what?
この後すぐ。
Although there were some twists and turns along the way, and my throat is in so much pain to be doing this, the one who killed Mahito Koizumi is... Hold on a second. Okay, I'll wait. So sorry, I'm just hesitating. There's no need to hesitate. No matter how you look at it, Pekko's the killer. Why? Why? That's obvious. You're not a tool, you're a freaking human being.
Yeah.
If I'm a human, then I'm not a tool. If that's what you're saying, you're wrong.
知らないだけだ。
Because you just don't know. You just don't know that there are people who only exist to be tools. People such as myself. Only exist to be tools?
ね
But what does she mean, Ryuhiko? Pekko and I grew up together. What? Are you two childhood friends then?
え。いや、
No, completely different than that. Right after I was born and abandoned by my parents, the Kusuryu clan took me in.
私は道具だ。
They gave me a reason to exist. I am to fulfill my duty as my young master's property. Property, you say? It means she's a hitman arranged by my clan to work directly under me.
坊ちゃんが襲われれば盾となって守り、坊ちゃんが殺意を抱けば剣となって殺す。私はそのためだけに生きる権利を与えられたのだ。
So who is the little girl that died in the game? Because Pekko clearly is not dead.
私は人間である前に坊ちゃんの道具なのだ。この体が動かなくなる時まで私はその役割を全うしてみせる。
そんな。
But that is... You are wrong. You are not a tool, Pekko. Because if you are a tool, then what was all that time we spent together?
なんでもない。
Huh? I was ordered by my young master to behave, just as I was ordered to interact with you all. Our professional relationship doesn't exist on this island. We're just fellow high school students now. Right after we arrived on this island, that is what my young master ordered me to do. I meant to charge my phone. Alright.
貴様
That is why you were hiding your relationship, you mean?
いや、
It's not as if that started the moment we arrived on this island. Before that, my young master has always told me to hide our relationship. My young master loathes relying on his household's power. He even hates me, the tool given to him by his household.
私は道具だ。
No matter what I'm told, I am nothing but a tool for killing. If my young master intends to kill, it is only natural for me to act as his tool. Then the one who tried to kill Mahito wasn't you. It was Fuyuhiko. It is what it is. When I thought I beat that game, I was suddenly given these photographs. Damn it. I don't understand. Why is my sister in these photos?
ふざけんな。
And she's covered in blood. What does it mean? Why can't I remember? How come I don't even know if my sister is dead?
君は
You tried to confirm it with Mahiru, and that's why you wanted to talk to her.
だからよ
Yeah, I sent her the photo because I wanted to make sure she'd respond. But she never replied back to me. Not only that, she started avoiding me too.
だけど
I'm pretty sure Mahiru was confused too. I mean, we all were. Before anyone played the game, we didn't even know this incident had happened. And that's why even if we were told that we were connected to it, there's no way we could accept it. You know, when Mahiru spoke to Ibuki, she mentioned something about this. Oh, sorry, I actually have plans to go to the beach with everyone. Wait, huh? You're not gonna go, Mahiru? If you want to talk about it there, it'll be totally fine. It's pretty important, so you know it'd be troubling to involve the others. You sound pretty serious. Serious or not, I can't really do anything about it on my own. So I wanted someone to talk to, think about it with me.
でも
If I need to make amends, I would, but I don't even know how.
マジっすか
That definitely sounds serious. I can cancel my beach plans for you. No, it's fine. It's important that everyone gets along anyway. Just tell them I'm not feeling well. Plus, it doesn't have to be today. There's always tomorrow. She wanted to discuss how to make amends. But Hyoko was the only one who accepted her invitation. I should have gone too. But it was rather convenient for you, wasn't it, for you, Hiko? If you could make use of their plan to meet each other alone, you could easily lure Mahiru into a trap, right? By calling both of them to the beach house, you were able to pin the blame on Hyoko.
何それ
Seriously, what the heck? An eye for an eye. That's the world I live in. My little sister was murdered. If the reason that happened was because of some person here, I have no choice but to kill that person on my sister's behalf, right? Again, my voice is getting shot because of my cold.
そして
And so, my young master thought of a plan and executed it. I wanted to use a bat as the murder weapon because in the game, that's what was used to kill Girl E. For revenge, clubbing the person to death the same way my sister was killed just seemed to make sense. Even if it ruined my disguise, it was the only thing I could do to avenge my sister.
そんな
So that is why you killed Mahiru with the bat. But still, I believed her up to the very last minute. That game was just a work of fiction. But even so, that bitch.
ね
Hey, if that game is actually real, are you the one who killed Girl E? She asked him that flat out.
てめえ
Hey, I don't want to hear about that.
えでも
The fact that your sister was killed is terrible. It's unfortunate, but
どうして
you shouldn't have killed that girl.
うっせえんだ
Who
よ
cares about that? Just answer me. What do you know about that game?
何言ってんのよ
You had no right to do that. And nobody has the right to judge others for their crimes. Revenge is just wrong.
まったくよ
You want me to be honest? This whole time I was acting like a coward. Even after I called over Mahiru, I was still trying to find an excuse to not go through with the plan. But after she said that to me, that all went out the window. I got really pissed off and grabbed the metal bat that I had hid under the bench. But at that moment, young master called for me and made me kill Mahiru. Huh?
終わりましたよおっちゃん
So then here is how Monokuma's gonna make his decision. And Peko actually, according to her own claim, she is the one that hit Mahito and killed her. But it was Fuyuhiko who ordered her to do it. There's nothing really to gain from working together, but... Are you saying that you killed because you were ordered to? A tool is not defined by its will, but by its actions. I don't get this at all. Well, of course you don't understand, because humans are completely different from one another. Get some more water. Okay, I also have a throat lozengen in right now. So, everyone's birthplace and upbringing is different. It's obviously impossible for them to understand each other. So everyone just pretends to understand. And pretends to be understood. Hey, you're too annoying. Can you just be quiet? Okie dokie, I'll be quiet. And afterward, just as my young master planned, I proceeded to tamper with the scene of the crime. However, I also considered the possibility of being found out. So in order to get you guys to make the wrong choice, I decided to make use of that serial killer story. You insisted that you were sparkling justice in order to make us hasten our votes. We fell for it. We fell for her trick all along. That's right. You guys have made the wrong decision. You voted me, a mere tool, as the killer, unaware that my young master was the true killer. But if you're the one that actually did the deed, then they didn't vote wrong. Hold on. Hold on. Don't act like our loss has been decided yet.
Yeah.
No, it should be decided already. Isn't that right, Monokuma? If you're the one who did it, then that means we voted correctly. Just because Fuyuhiko ordered you to do it, does not mean we voted wrong. I'll admit, all this talk about Peko being a tool sounds pretty persuasive. When you approach it from various angles, it makes sense that Fuyuhiko's actually the true killer. Hold on! I'm telling you to hold on! I see. So for Peko, Fuyuhiko himself is your true hope then. Here he goes again with that darn word. On his behalf, you killed Mahito, and now you're trying to sacrifice us so that you can protect him. You would only go that far because he's your one and only hope. Wrong. I have no hope. I'm just a tool. Well, even if we ask her, she'll probably just play dumb anyway. So I'm gonna ask someone else. Fuyuhiko, what do you think?
Huh?
About what? Is Peko just a tool to you? Using that tool, surviving by sacrificing Peko and the rest of us? Is that your hope? Hold on. What's the use of asking something like that? Huh? You seem distressed. A mere tool doesn't panic like that, right? Peko, be honest. Are you trying to protect Fuyuhiko of your own free will? Or is Fuyuhiko making you sacrifice yourself? Fuyuhiko, can you tell me the truth? The fact that she killed on your behalf. The fact that she lied to us by acting like the killer. Are those all things you ordered her to do? Is that the truth? Fuyuhiko? I know you hate her guts, but if you listen to Peko, we're all gonna die. Young master, you just have to tell the truth. I was only following your orders. You just have to tell them that. Fuyuhiko, you mentioned this before, but in this kind of situation, interacting with others will just shorten your lifespan. Those idiots, Byakuya and Teruteru, are proof of that. Plus, it'd be frustrating to be held back by a faction when it's my time to kill. And he even insinuated that he would attempt a murder. Again, this was part 8 when he said all this. Part 8 of my gameplay. You're still saying that? Of course, I'll sacrifice the lives of everyone here if it guarantees my survival. You don't really feel that way, right? You're not that kind of person. Because if you were, you wouldn't be hesitating like you are now, right? There's no need to hesitate, young master, please. Just tell them the truth. Young master, you were the one who ordered me. I just did as I was told because I am a tool. For you, this could be considered your ultimate choice. Regardless, either way, you'll still lose Peko. But if you insist you're the killer just as she said, you can sacrifice us and survive alone. Or would you rather reject Peko and fight alongside us against despair? Which one will be your hope? Let's hear what you have to say. I...
終わりましたよ、おっちゃん。
てめえ、何やってんだ。分かってんだろ。ここで人を殺したら、この後どうなるか。
分かっているからこそやったんです。あなたにあれをさせるわけにはいかない。
なあ、ペコ。最初にこの島に来た時、俺は言ったよな。
So we didn't vote wrong.
この島では今までの俺らの関係はチャラだって。お互いに一人の高校生同士だってよ。いいか、お前は逃げろ。このまま俺のせいにして逃げるんだよ。
おっちゃん、それは無理ですよ。
うるせえ。俺のことは気にすんなっつってんだ。
気にしないわけにはいきません。私は坊ちゃんの道具です。坊ちゃんを守るための道具なんです。所有者がいなくなってしまったら道具は何の意味も持ちません。
だからそれはもう終わりなんだ。俺の言うことが聞けねえのかよ。
どちらにしても逃げ切れません。この計画ではおそらく見破られるでしょう。
She was even certain of that.
だったらなんでてめえは。
私に策があります。
策だ。
ご安心ください。私が必ず坊ちゃんを生かして返してみせます。
てめえどうするつもりだ。
道具としての役割を全うするだけです。さあ早く逃げてください。そろそろ西園寺が目を覚ます頃です。あなたが出て行った後 彼女の死体で道路側の扉を塞がねばなりません。だから早く。
クソがいいか。
This is everything that actually happened.
俺のことなんか、クズリュウ組のことなんか忘れて、てめえは逃げるんだぞ。
So how about it, Fuyuhiko? Please, tell me the truth.
悪い。
I'm sorry, Peko. I guess I couldn't go through with it after all.
おっちゃん、
Young master?
情けねえ。
Because if that's actually what I have to do to survive, I just feel ashamed of myself. It means I can't live without depending on something. I just feel disgusted with myself.
ペコ、
And if I admit that, it means you really are just a tool to me. How many times did I tell you? I don't want a tool given to me by the Kusuryu clan.
おっちゃん、
Oh my, so this is how it turned out. Here I thought it'd be more brutal and heartless. Man, how disappointing. Which means everything happened thanks to her meddlesome actions. There's no way a human that meddlesome could ever be considered a tool. Monokuma, you knew all along, didn't you? Of course he knew all along. You knew about what Peko and Fuyuhiko discussed.
まったく。
Oh, it's obvious now. I mean, that's why you have the surveillance cameras. You're just having fun, huh?
Man, even if it was an act of desperation, Peko's claim was surprisingly interesting. You're actually the first to try to influence the outcome of the trial like that. But too bad. You're definitely the killer. Peko, the tool with a heart, is the killer.
すまね
Peko, I'm sorry. I couldn't fulfill your request. Even though you did all that to provide me the chance to survive. But I had a feeling it would turn out like this. Huh?
おっちゃん、
Young master, you have a kind heart, despite being a Yakuza. That's why you question your position and constantly worry about it. For you to sacrifice someone else just to escape by yourself, I believed you wouldn't accept that so easily. We've been together ever since we were children. Even a tool will understand that. Then why?
それでも私は
Even so, I wanted you to
あなたに
escape.
逃げてほしかった。
I wanted to protect you.
え。ペコ、
Peko,
申し訳ありません。
I'm terribly sorry. I'll not be able to serve by your side until the very end, young master.
さようなら。
Goodbye. And I'm sorry for what I've done to you all too. It may be a selfish request, but please, forgive my young master.
そして、
And please do not cause a senseless killing
こんな殺し
such
合
as
いを起
this
こさないでくれ。
ever again. Of course. That will do, Monokuma. Why don't you start it already?
私は絶望などしない。
Just so you know, I will never feel despair. As long as I am a tool, I am fully prepared to die. So cool. But will you be able to maintain that composure until the very end? People who act as proud as you always shed tears of despair in the end. Oh, I gotta blow my nose.
Alright. Now then, let's begin.
冬彦坊ちゃん
Young Master Fuyuhiko, please permit me to make one final selfish request.
だからよ。
Didn't I tell you not to call me Young Master?
覚えておいてほしいのです
I want you to remember the tool, Peko Pekoyama, who used to stand beside you. I would like it if you remembered that. That's it. How many times do you have to keep? I don't need any tools. You did say that. Let's begin. The punishment time's brimming with despair.
まったくよ。
Jeez. Why don't you get it yet?
ワクワク
It's time for the ultimate swordsman, Peko Pekoyama.
どうしてだよ。
You stayed by my side all this time. Why don't you get it? Yeah, and I just remembered. I came very close to spoiling who the killer was for myself. Because I was looking up the soundtrack of this game, and one of the soundtracks was called Tool Girl. So, I immediately was like, crap. I just spoiled that, at least that the killer was a female. But at least that wasn't entirely the case. It is, but it's... Her and Fuyuhiko pretty much work together.
スペシャルなお仕置きを用意しました。
俺は
I never needed a sword or a shield.
俺には道具なんていらねえんだよ。だからてめえは道具になる必要なんてなかったんだ。
では張り切っていきましょう。
てめえは
Oh my
てめえ
goodness.
のまま
They
で
just
よ
keep
かっ
going.
たんだ。俺に必要なのは道具なんかじゃねえ。そのままのお前だったんだよ。
Well, that's the most wholesome thing he's ever said this entire game.
なんでだ。なんでそれがわかんねえんだよ。ガキの頃からずっと一緒だったのによ。
お仕置きタイム。
だからペコ、まだ行くな。俺にはお前が必要なんだ。俺を置いていかないでくれよ。
おっちゃんおっちゃん
No, it's too late for the tears now, unfortunately. Alright, what do they got for us this time? Oh my gosh. What are these, samurai robots? One woman army. Oh yeah, sure, just pull her straight into them. I mean, she's trying her best to fend them off. But wait, what? How did she get... What, did he jump in front? So they both get killed? That's how they're gonna do them?
そんな嘘です
This cannot be, even Fuyuhiko?
This shouldn't be allowed. People dying so easily, falling like dominoes? You bastard! What is this? This can't be. This is a lie, right? For heaven's sake, this is just the worst. What a waste. This conclusion, what a waste. This is why she should have just discussed it with me. Now what would have... Come on. It was supposed to be a clash between two hopes, but it was crushed into something so unpalatable. You're still talking about that? The hell's wrong with you? Aren't you pissed that 2 of your friends got killed? I am pissed. And I even feel sad and hopeless. But still, it's gonna be alright. This despair is worthless. Even this despair is just a ladder to a bright, shining future that awaits us. I just cannot deal with this guy. The higher the ladder, the brighter we can shine. That is the unmistakable truth. Calling me a ladder, huh? You say some pretty interesting things. In a way, your misguided thoughts of what hope should be reminded me of him. Don't really understand what you're saying. Anyway, I shall make a declaration. We will definitely destroy you. The hopes of all the ultimates here will definitely, completely, utterly destroy you. There won't even be a strand of cotton left when we're done with you. That's your future. How much longer are you planning to say such stupid things? Don't you understand? Even Fuyu died, you know? Not yet. He's still alive. What? Everyone, Fuyuhiko is still alive. You serious? Well, that seems like a good cliffhanger to end it on. So apparently he's still alive according to Monomi or Osami. And we will find out in next week what his status is. But my goodness, this entire second incident, this is just the second one. And this was a journey, going through all that. Just a journey of emotions and all kinds of crap. I mean, an entire game inspired by a true event. And having to tie that into what happened here. I mean, this was a ridiculous journey. So, I am really looking forward to what happens next for this game. So, I will see you all when that happens, and hopefully next week I'll be in a much better condition when I go to play this game. So, it'll be back to Koko for the next couple days as he returns to the Age of Imprisonment. So I'll see you guys next week. Have a great night, everybody. And don't forget, the month of May, there will not be any streams. And I'll make sure to tweet that as well. Have a good night, everybody.